Hello viewers, welcome to Easy Coding channel. In today's lesson, we're gonna learn about CSS Float Property. And with the help of Float Property, we will be making a layout something like this, where we will be having two images where text flowing on the right hand side. I'll also show you how to add footer underneath of both images. Okay, let's first understand what is a float property. So the float property in CSS is used to position an element to the left or right of its container, allowing text and inline elements to wrap around it. So the value we can add to float property are left, right, none, and inherit. So if we choose a left as a float value, then the element will float to the left of its container. If, for example, we choose right as float value, then the element will float to the right of its container. Now, the value none is the default value, and in this case, the element will not float. Now, if we choose the last one, which is inherit as a float value, in that case, the element will inherit the float value from its parent. I believe that if you want to learn coding, the best way is by practically doing it. So let's now open VS Code and write some codes, and then we will use a CSS float property to create our design layout. So from the file menu, I'm now gonna open a folder which is known as Easy Coding HTML, which I have saved in my PC. Now from this folder, I have opened a index.html file where I will write some HTML code. So firstly, I will add the HTML boilerplate. So to do that, you just need to simply hit the exclamation key and the enter key onto your keyboard. Okay, it's done. Now I will add a new title. So the title I will give here is a CSS float. So the title is done. I have given a title. Now I will add some HTML code between the opening and closing body text. So first of all, I'm gonna add a div, and I will give a class in that div. So here we go. I'm adding a div and give it a class which will be known as first. You have to make sure that when you add a class, it should be in the opening tag, otherwise it will not work. So now I'm gonna add heading, and I will use heading 2 here. So I have added heading 2 tags, and between them I have added the heading which is a first image. Okay, the heading is done. Let's now add one image which is already saved in this easy coding HTML folder. One thing to note that is that image tag is a self-closing tag, so there will be only one tag but not two. Okay, so here in the image tag, I have added an attribute called source, and in the value part, when I will type dot and then the forward facing a sign, the computer will give me all options which are saved in this folder. So from here I have gone to the photo folder, and from there I have chosen one image. So the image is done. Now I'm gonna add one paragraph with the help of paragraph tags. So here I am adding the paragraph tags. Here it's done. Now between the paragraph tags, I'm gonna add the paragraph with the help of lorem ipsum. To view the paragraph fully, I'm gonna add some spaces. In my early lessons, I told you that in HTML file, if you add as much as spaces, it is not making any difference on your website. So for you to view it fully, or to make your work easy, you can add as much as spaces in the HTML file. So anyway, the first div is done. Now I'm gonna add the second div, and this is my second div. I'm gonna work on it now. So first of all, I'm gonna give it a class, and I'm gonna name this class is second. So here I have added one div. Now I'm gonna add one heading with the help of heading to tags, and here I'm adding one heading. So the heading I will add here is second image. So anyway, the heading is done. Now I will add one image with the help of image tag. So in the attribute section, I'm adding a file which is already saved in this easy coding HTML folder. I already showed you that how easily you can add image from the folder you have. Anyway, and now I'm adding the paragraph with the help of lorem ipsum. Again, to view the paragraph fully, I'm gonna add the spaces, and of course it will not affect on my website. So that means that I can add as much as spaces I want. So here I have done with my HTML code. Now I will work on CSS styling. So to do that, I'm gonna open the CSS file, which is style.css, and I will just simply drag that file on the right side of my screen. So here go, it's opened. To link these two files, I'm now gonna add the link element in my index.html file. So here I'm adding it. I have added the link tag, and in that link tag I'm gonna add the attribute called href, and again all I just need to add the dot and the forward facing sign. As soon as I do that, the computer will give me the options of the files, and from there I have chosen that style.css file. So anyway, this is the preview of my website. It is just the simple layout. I haven't added any CSS styling yet. Let me open onto the browser. Let me copy the link and paste it on the browser, and then open it to show you how does it look like. So this is the website view, and I just have the simple layout. I haven't added any CSS styling yet. Okay, let me now do some CSS styling. So I have to go back to the CSS file. So here I go, I am in the CSS file. So yeah, here I have added the selector called div, and between the curly brackets I have added the property called display, and the value I have given inline block. So the next property I'm adding here is a width, and I am giving it a value of 40%. Okay, let me now open the browser and see how does my website look like because of the effect of the CSS coding. So I'm gonna open the browser, and here I go, here is my website. I can see the layout of my website has changed, and the images are now side by side rather than it was before, one underneath another one. So anyway, now I will add some more CSS coding. To do that, I will add the first class. The to add the class, I have to add the dot first, and then the name of the class, which is first. You have to make sure that you type the class name properly. If you miss any letter, it will not work on your website. So anyway, here I have added the first class, and between the curly brackets I'm gonna add some CSS coding. First of all, I'm gonna add the float property, and then I have chosen the value left. So for the second class, I have added the dot symbol again, and then the class name, and then again I have added the float property between the curly bracket, and in that case I have given it a value of right. Okay, now what will I do? I will add the selector, which is the image, and then I'm gonna add the float property again, and in that case I'm gonna give it a value of left. Let's now see the preview of the website. So here we go, the layout has changed. The images are now on the left hand side of the text, and the texts are now the right hand side. So anyway, now I'm gonna change the font size, and to do that I'm gonna add the selector called P, and I'm choosing the larger font size, which is 2M. So here you can see the font size of my text has changed as well. It is now larger than it was before. So one thing I note here is that the texts are so close to the images, so I don't want it looks like this. I want little space between the texts and the images. So to do that, I have to add some CSS styling. So let's go back to the CSS file. Here we go, and in the image selector, I'm gonna add another property, which is margin right. And here the margin right property I have added, and the value I will add here is something like 20 pixel. And see how does it work. So I have added the 20 pixel value here. Let's go back to the website again, and here I can see that the space has been made between the images and the text. So I'm happy with it, and yes, that's how simply you can style your website with the help of CSS styling. And also it is very easy to make the text flowing around the images with the help of a CSS float property. So all done. Now I have to add the footer, and to do that I will add some more CSS styling. But before that I have to add some HTML code in the HTML file, and that will be the footer tag. So after that second div, I'm gonna add the footer tags, the opening footer tag and the closing footer tag, and between those tags I'm gonna add the footer, which is by Fazana, for example. Yes, so as soon as I have added, you can see that the footer actually on the top of the website rather than at the bottom. Because of the effect of CSS property it happens. So let me add the footer selector on the CSS file and do some styling over there. So I have added the property clear and the value both. As soon as I have done that, it came down, the footer has came down. Now what will I do? I will add some more styling. So the background color I'm gonna choose here is blue violet, and I hope it will look good on my website. And now what I want, I have seen in the preview that the text is actually on the left hand side, so I want it to be in the center. So to do that, I have added here the text alignment property, and the value I have chosen here is center. I hope it will make my footer to be in the middle. Let's see it. Yes, I can see the footer is in the middle, but the text size is really small, basically the font size. So I will add the font size here and give it a value. And here I'm adding the font size property, and the value I will choose here is a 2M again. Here we go, I have chosen that. Let's see the website now. Here the font size has changed, and the text is in the middle, and the background color of the footer is the blue violet, which I have chosen in my CSS file. So anyway, this is the layout I wanted to create today with the help of CSS Float Property. I hope you understand that how easily you can make the text flowing around the images with the help of CSS Float Property. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment. I will answer it there. And anyway, that's it for today. See you on to my next lesson. Until then, bye bye from Fazana.